Buy 'em out, boys.
The Rock is a man who loves himself a good crossover. Fortnite and the Atomic Eyebrow. Bold on bold violence. DC meets the Titanic. But do you remember when he helped to kick off a gaming institution as we know it today? In between sips of his Zoa trademark energy drink trademark while appearing on WWE trademark sponsored by Slim trademark Jim's trademark, Dwayne The Rock Johnson has always had a very public fondness for Xbox. Or maybe it's the other way around. And this isn't a new thing either. The Rock and Xbox have been working together ever since the first Xbox console reveal in 2001, in what was potentially the most early 2000s appearance in gaming history. The Rock then went on from revealing consoles to games to other partnerships, cramming in an Oscar-worthy performance in The Tooth Fairy while he had the time.
I'm the Tooth Fairy. Oh yeah.
If things had been a little bit different, and if he hadn't simply eaten Bill Gates at some point down the line, there's a good chance The Rock would practically be the face of Xbox itself. You know, apart from that Master Chief guy or the dude from Galleon. Respect, Galleon. But why do The Rock and Xbox seem to like checking into the SmackDown hotel together? Ahead of him taking on Cody Rhodes and his crybabies at this year's WrestleMania, let's take a look at this unlikeliest of duos since Stardust and the main event of WrestleMania? On January 6th, 2001, during the annual Consumer Electronics Show, CES, Microsoft was ready to reveal its answer to Sony's growing presence in the video game industry, the very first Xbox. The presentation started simple enough. Bill Gates, then chairman of Microsoft, talked about the specs and capabilities of the new console. If you want to see how a weird, kinda wanky Jurassic Park game led here, be sure to watch our video. He also discussed other aspects of the one-time direct Xbox, like why they chose that specific design for the console and its controllers. Gates didn't even show any games since the Xbox didn't really have anything to show off just yet. If that sounds a little bit boring, that's probably because it was. But the presentation became one of the most iconic console reveals of all time when The Rock suddenly stepped out dressed hilariously and awkwardly with a tacky outfit and shades. It's a shame he doesn't dress like that anymore. Oh, okay. The Rock spoke in third person, just like this, and just like he does now back in WWE, and with a rhythm that made his speech sound incredibly scripted, just like this. Maybe probably because it was written by Vince McMahon or something, in between his many crimes. He also blurted out buzzwords like symmetric multiprocessing and multi-threading non-stop, as if they were common words even toddlers would know. The presentation was a bit dry and technical with just Gates up there on the stage, but when The Rock got involved, telling the richest man on the planet that it didn't matter what he thought, it became legitimately entertaining.
Bill, do you have any idea what The Rock would be like if he were only running on 1/5 of his power?
Well, I would think that...
It doesn't matter what you think, Bill.
Now you might think that Johnson and Gates were already close buddies during that time. But that doesn't seem to be the case. That was probably either the first time they met or they were new acquaintances prior to the reveal, which is kind of crazy to think about. Within just the space of a few legendarily awkward, endearing minutes, Microsoft certainly achieved its goal of making people know the Xbox was coming, and the press conference is now iconic in its own right. But why did John The Rock Dwayneson get involved with Xbox to begin with? Well, the original Xbox was intended to rival this little console called the PlayStation 2, but with Sony already very well established with even the likes of hurdy-gurdy making bank, Microsoft needed something more to really get the word out. They needed a presenter that would not only appeal to the gaming community, but draw in people from other crowds as well. Enter The Rock, who had previous experience in bringing stuff to the mainstream with a stint hosting SNL. Back in 2001, Johnson's acting career had barely just begun. His first major acting role as the Scorpion King in The Mummy Returns wasn't due for a few more months, and yeah, who could ever forget that as much as they may like to. He was known more for his wrestling career with the WWE, which at the time was still named WWF. Alongside Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock was the focal point of one of the then WWF's most successful ever eras, the iconic Attitude Era. You might know it as that time an old woman gave birth to a hand. Wrestling! In 2001, gaming wasn't as big of or as accepted an industry then as it is now, as it's kind of unusual if you're under the age of about 35 and don't play any games really. Jeff Keighley needs to realise that things have changed when he invites Timothée Chalamet to the Game Awards for no reason. We've got our own stars now, Jeff. But back before broadband was a thing, people who liked video games were still commonly teased as nerds and geeks, which I definitely wasn't, guys. I didn't read my Final Fantasy X manual on the bus every single day, no sir. So what better way to make gaming look cool than to get a wrestling superstar and prominent proprietor of Poontang Pie as your spokesperson? The Rock was basically the coolest dude on the planet. And although it wasn't much of a known fact back then, The Rock is a gamer. In an interview with MTV back in 2017, he said that his favourite video game is Mortal Kombat, and that he also loved the 1986 arcade game Rampage, which he later starred in a somewhat forgotten but still fun movie adaptation of. Remember Rampage? Let us know down in the comments down below. So The Rock was playing games long before the Xbox even existed, but the chances of coming across him in your Halo lobby today are pretty low. He's more of a Fortnite guy these days, or Brawlhalla, weirdly enough. The Rock didn't just help announce consoles, he was there for numerous Xbox game reveals, charities and other events. He also has roles in a couple of games like Spy Hunter Nowhere to Run and practically every WWE game, although these aren't Xbox exclusives. But he did appear in both WWF Raw games, which weirdly were console exclusive to Xbox and were decent, but yeah, not brilliant. Interestingly though, the Scorpion King Rise of the Acadian, the video game adaptation of The Rock's first major leading role, never released on Xbox. That's why the PS2 won, guys. The relationship with Xbox and The Rock hasn't been entirely one-sided either. Xbox has helped Dwayne Johnson promote his own products as well. During winter 2017, Dwayne Johnson turned into Dwanta Claus. Which, yeah, that works, doesn't it? A persona he created that fused Santa Claus with himself. His goal? To bring some joy to free Make-A-Wish children by taking them on a VIP tour of the set of his current film project, Skyscraper. Remember Skyscraper? That's one dumbass fun-ass movie. More disaster movies, please, guys. Anyway, the kids got personalised director chairs and exotic car rides, but perhaps the most special gifts they received were the special edition Xbox Ones. Oh, that's nice. The consoles were given to them a week before they came out worldwide. They featured Johnson's golden Brahma Bull logo and uniquely styled controllers. To top it all off, they even got to play games from the Xbox Game Pass selection with The Rock himself. I wonder if the final boss himself let them win against the final boss. The original Xbox isn't the only console The Rock helped to launch. He was there for the Xbox Series X too. To commemorate the launch on November 10th, 2020, Microsoft gave The Rock a special edition of the Series X. Like the special edition Xbox One, it has a golden Brahma Bull logo and a message engraved in the bottom reading, "Keep smiling and have fun, love Dwayne The Rock Johnson," followed by his signature. The special edition console has sadly not been made for sale to the public, but others are out there. Microsoft and Xbox also chose Johnson as their representative in announcing their partnership with Gamers Outreach, a charity dedicated to providing video games to hospitalised children, and that's cool. I've got no shitty jokes for that. The partnership led to 20 children's hospitals across the US receiving custom Xbox Series X consoles and Gamers Outreach cards. Very nice. After once again donning his Dwanta Claus persona, I hate those words coming out of my mouth, Dwayne and Netflix partnered with Xbox in November 2021 to celebrate their new film, Red Notice. Remember that movie? Anyone? Hello? This time, Dwanta gave away Xbox Series S consoles, Halo Master Chief helmets, and Xbox Game Pass subscriptions. No special editions this time, but still pretty dang cool. Also related to Red Notice is the Xbox Vault, announced and hosted by none other than The Rock himself. But what is the Xbox Vault, you ask? It was a limited time interactive gaming experience based on the film Red Notice. You were placed in a vault with 27 artifacts you could interact with. The Rock would then ask you a question relating to that artifact. The more answers you got right, the higher your chances of winning a prize from Xbox. Pretty neat. These artifacts were items from various games, and some were even real-world objects that related to Xbox's history. Among the artifacts were the Dragonborn helmet from Skyrim, a statue of Master Chief from Halo, and an Xbox controller. But what about the other way around? An example of Microsoft helping The Rock is when they used the Xbox mini fridge to showcase Johnson's line of Zoa trademark energy drink trademark. An ad for Zoa trademark included a mini fridge designed to look like a giant Xbox Series X console. I know we all like to clown on the Series X sometimes, but genuinely, I know this is me being a freak, but I think it looks better than the PS5. The PS5 looks like some alien creature. I don't enjoy looking at it. The Rock and Xbox then teamed up once again to give away a special edition of the mini fridge with a golden Zoa trademark logo on it. This happened in March 2021 when the Xbox mini fridge wasn't even technically a thing yet. They treated the ad as more of a proof of concept to see if the public even wanted it. Luckily for them, the ad was a success, and the Xbox mini fridge became an official product in December of that year. What goes around, comes around. While he didn't have any part in making Halo the game that really blew the Xbox brand up, it's fascinating to imagine just how different Xbox could have looked if The Rock wasn't even involved at all. Or if he was replaced by, I don't know, Val Venus? Actually, I don't want to think about that at all. Outro time! And that was our video going over the history of The Rock and Xbox. What do you think? Do you think the guy loves to play grabbed by the ghoulies like the rest of us? Be sure to let me know down below in the comments down below. I've been Jimmy for Cultured Vultures, and thank you for watching.